Before this video starts, I would like to thank Jay Kennedy for his support on Patreon. Thank you very much. So today I want to share a story of why I deleted Tinder and all of the social media apps like Facebook dating, the social media apps that focus on dating. So it was about a month ago, and it was because I watched this podcast of Jordan Peterson with this another guy who talked about the boy crisis. I'm not sure about the name, but in that video, in that podcast, Jordan Peterson mentions how Tinder and all those social media dating apps are stripping men from the viewpoint that they can be rejected. And that is pretty much, he explains why there is a fear of men just approaching women, why they fear that. And that is because when a woman rejects you, when she shows you that she's not interested, what it means essentially from an evolutionary point is that she doesn't find your genetics, your value that valuable in order to transfer it through children to the next generation. She doesn't want to have your children, essentially, that's what she's saying. And men fear that because your value as a man is what you can provide. It's your physical strength, is your mental strength, is your ability to be the leader, is your ability to just go and attack life and not to be bothered by it, just win and win and win, Of course, there is room for failure, but it's not that big. You have to be a strong man. That's essentially it. And I think everybody knows when you say a strong man, probably most of the people just think about these qualities that I just described. And when I heard that, it was kind of eye-opening because he also mentioned that, Tinder is, in one of his previous videos, that it's about the hookup culture. And that, you can just quickly install the app, create an account, and then just go and have sex, And Jordan Peterson doesn't believe that sex is just casual. It's something that should be done in a relationship because it's kind of dangerous, he says, because not only for the chance of just being, getting somebody pregnant, it's also because you attach yourself to that person and, well, he explains it better in his videos, but essentially it's not good to just go and have casual sex. And I believe that too, because when I installed Tinder in the summer, because I passed my exams that I planned to retake, and I passed them good, and I was proud of myself, and I said, okay, let's just relax for a bit, let's install Tinder and see what I can get. So, and then I started having sex, and I mean, it's not fulfilling at all. It's just, in my opinion, there should be a relationship. There shouldn't be anything. You should try your best to discipline yourself, to not have that just free casual sex, because there will be consequences. Maybe you're not going to catch feelings, but again, we have that thing of getting somebody pregnant. You have that thing of getting a sexually transmitted disease. You can make the other person feel bad. Maybe they will catch feelings for you and you don't reciprocate. So there are not that many things that good about it. And everybody just kind of feels deep down that it's something you shouldn't be doing, something that is wrong. I mean, that is how people probably discovered NoFap, but that's how I discovered NoFap. I've been doing that. Let's say when you're watching porn, you're masturbating. After that, you always get this feeling of this is wrong, and that is pretty much how this casual sex works. It's pretty much the same. In my defense, I did that because I wanted to experience that, because I've never did that. And actually, I kind of recommend, if you have a fear of women, Tinder might be a good gateway to kind of just go out in dates and gather experience. That's what I mentioned in one of my previous videos about one night stands corrupt your soul, I believe. It's that, you shouldn't just aim for casual sex. I don't recommend that, but you should probably install Tinder, install a dating app, because to just get over your fear of approaching women. And it's not going to get over that fear, but it might get easier in the long run if you just practice going on a date. Because as a man, you should be able to go on a date and just, I don't know, just attract a partner that is kind of your nature in a way. You have to be able to do that. But if you just you experience one date, that's okay. Just delete Tinder, delete any other dating apps, and focus on, if you find a woman interesting, if you find her attractive, if you actually want to have a relationship with that woman, a potential future relationship, what you should do is, you see that girl on the street, in your class, in your school, whatever, and you go and approach her. That takes so much balls to do that. And not many men practice that, because nowadays it's just, oh, I see somebody, maybe she's in my class, so I add her on Facebook friends, and then we start texting each other, That can be okay, but just simply going over, just grabbing yourself by the balls, and just going and approaching that girl, and just looking like, I found this to be a good help from Elisha Long. And he said that, look at a woman as another human being, You're going to talk to another human being, and it's not just strip away that thinking of just, oh, it's a woman now. Oh, you're trying to, just show yourself, show your best side when you go over to talk to her, and that gives you so much anxiety. But if you just go over, just forget everything, just approach and talk to her. You don't necessarily need to just go and ask for her number or ask for her Facebook or whatever. This doesn't need to be the main goal. You can just go over and just talk with her, Thank her for the conversation and go away. That can actually confuse the woman, because, well, she probably, if you approach her, she probably expects that you're doing this as a way to kind of get her attention, get her number, all of those things. But if you just approach her, talk to her, and then go away, that gives you so much power, more discipline to you. Because you're not just being a slave, you're not being a simp. If that woman, doesn't show that much interest in you, and you have that self-respect. So other things that can help you go and do that, to go and just approach women. I found that, this is like kind of a funny story, but from Jiu Jitsu, when I first started going to Jiu Jitsu, is kind of was changing my life, and it is still changing my life. I keep saying that in my every video about Jiu Jitsu, but it's really, and it's not just Jiu Jitsu itself, I believe. It's just because I'm a disagreeable person, and I really need competition in my life, and also physical activity. Not just because I'm disagreeable, but just physical activity. Everybody needs physical activity. And I was lacking in both of those areas, the competition and the physical activity. And once I started going to Jiu-Jitsu, it provided both of these things. And I just go out of my practices just feeling happy, feeling fulfilled, just straight posture, ready to attack the world. And nothing like that ever gave me this much confidence as Jiu-Jitsu when it comes to physical activity, So I remember when it was like 1 or 2 weeks in of Jiu-Jitsu, and I decided there was this one girl in Jiu-Jitsu class who seemed attractive to me. And when she got out of the dojo or whatever, I also went out because, well, the training session is over. And I didn't do anything about what I do. I just straight walked up to her, started a conversation, got her Facebook. Never really did anything happen out of it, which is okay. But just, this proves how physical activity can just lift you up as a man and just block all of those excuses, all of those thoughts that make you kind of weak and just insecure, you just go. You just go, and that's it. That's how you should approach every kind of this situation. Don't overthink it. That is like the main problem. Oh, I'm going to get rejected. No, just, okay, maybe you're probably going to get rejected. That's like, let's not be naive about this. There's a big possibility of that, because that is awkward. You're probably going to be awkward, and she's probably going to be awkward. And because if you approach a woman, do you think that she's like comfortable and just like a judge sitting down, no, I'm saying no to you, No, she's not going to do that. She's also going to be confused, initially. But it's your job to make her comfortable. It's your job to go up there, make your kind of stance, make your statement of why you are there clear for her. Not just go and say, oh, I want to have sex with you. No, don't do that. Just, go up to her, talk to her like a human being, and try to make her comfortable. That's it. You don't need to go and ask her number all the time, Don't just go over and, can I get your number? No, just first start with small talk. You have to make her comfortable in order to get that number or get the Facebook or whatever, And it's not the same goal. Just learn to build that discipline and get over your fear of talking to women. You can just talk to them without no intention of making a relationship with her. If you just see an attractive woman, just go up to her and just talk, to kind of train this muscle of, of discipline and getting over that fear. So that is why, I deleted Tinder, because here's a few more reasons why. So it's a big time waster. It is, because it's not for me. Tinder, and what I found from my friend when he said, it's a really big distraction, and it's not like something Facebook, Instagram, video games, movies, TV shows. It's not like that, because in those activities, you mostly participate by yourself. But Tinder plays on your kind of this natural want of sex, pretty much. Or that future relationship, which will also lead to sex. So if you're, as a man, you see all of these women and you talk to them, it's not like a video game character that you're leveling up. You're talking to these women, and that is real life. That is like a potential of going on a date, and in the future having sex, or maybe having that one night stand. For many men, that's kind of just like, there's so many women, and you just text to them. It becomes like this. Pretty much, that hookup culture, but it's kind of, tempting to just keep checking, keep seeing if you can have that potential date. So essentially, it's really tempting. It's tempting to check your phone all the time. It's tempting to just think about what the other person thinks about you. Just if you're actually once in a lifetime having a decent conversation on Tinder, with a girl, that's like preying on your natural instinct of just building that relationship with that woman, and you're just constantly thinking about her, like, oh, okay, you're probably working on something. Oh, maybe I should check message. Maybe I shouldn't. I should text her. Maybe I should not text her. Maybe I should, you get all of these thoughts, not like a video game, not like a movie again. So that's one thing. Another thing when it comes to sex, the sex aspect, as I said, when I installed in the summer, I started having sex. And because I haven't had that in a long time, and I've been on NoFap for a long time, and when you start having that sex, you start to feel like you made it, in a way. So it can derail you from your purpose, because sex is natural. Sex is something that, like Sigmund Freud, I believe that he said, there's two things that people value. They value the way they themselves are valuable in the society, or something like that. But the one we're talking about, is sex. Pretty much everything we do is for sex and for that other thing. So once you get this kind of, once you do this, your kind of biological purpose with another person, you kind of feel like, oh, okay, what's next, you know? So, and then after a while, you're calm, and then you start to want that more. So it can become addictive. And combined with Tinder, combined with all of this social media notification, instant impulse attraction to that phone, to that whatever, it can get real addictive. And let's just conclude this video because I think it's long enough, but these were the reasons why I deleted Tinder and why I recommend for you to delete it too. Because it just strips all of that natural attraction to a person, natural communication in real life, you know. It can really corrupt your soul, like with one night stands, because that's pretty much what it leads to. It leads to this free sex. If you just put some more effort into it, you can go and have casual sex. But trust me, guys, it's not everything in life. It's not, and it's much more satisfying long term to train that discipline, to not do that, to just go out there and become slave to that pussy, you know. So that's the message with this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe for more weekly self-improvement content. Also, Disciples of Life is now free, our Discord community server, and it's in the description down below. I'm going to leave a link to that community. There's also a link to my Instagram if you want to follow me there. And if you want to support this channel, there's going to be a link to my Patreon and my PayPal in the description down below. Thank you for watching this video again, and stay on your journey.